6 years ago, I went from earning $0 as a freelancer to earning my first $1,000 as a freelancer, and boy oh boy, girl or girl, do I have some lessons learned and big mistakes made. In this video, let's talk through the baby chick freelancer stage and 7 lessons that helped me get to 1K a month as a freelancer with no relevant work experience, testimonials, portfolio, or connections in the online world. Hey, it's Jaya, freelancer, digital business manager, and most recently, entrepreneur. And as always, you can find sections on the play bar below if you want to skip to a certain part of the video. Your time is precious, so take what you need. And if you want to watch this on 2x, I won't be offended. Okay, let's dive into the video. And I'm sorry for my voice in advance because I'm still a little bit sick, so my throat is hanging on by a prayer right now. This video is the first part of a 3-part series, and we're talking about going from $0 to 1K a month in this part. This is the baby chick or hatchling stage, which, by the way, I did a ton of research for this freelancer chicken analogy, and I'll have you know that this is the life cycle of a chicken, in case you, like I, did not know what a hatchling was. And at this hatchling baby chick stage, you need to focus on hatching, aka getting started, aka entering the world of freelancing. So that means stop dilly-dallying, watching from afar, redoing your website for the 40th time, making logos for 10 hours in Canva, instead getting in the game. If you need strategic help with how to make a portfolio, how to decide what freelancing services to offer, which freelancing platforms to check out, how much to charge, how to land your very first client, we have detailed step-by-step videos on those on our channel. But I find that a lot of freelancers, including myself, definitely including myself, get stuck in a loop in this beginner stage where we keep trying to find even more strategies, tips, hacks, secrets, techniques to help us get started. But chances are, if you have been in the baby chick stage for a while, you don't need any more strategies or planning or thinking. You just need to get going. So the only goal of this stage is to get out there and land your first paid or unpaid client. That is it. That's your only focus. Get out of your egg, baby chick. So the first and biggest, fattest lesson of all time is you need to think less and do more. I wasted a lot of time ming and eyeing, too afraid to get out there and talk to potential clients, and that ming and eyeing time was time I could have spent landing clients and making money. So here are 5 helpful tips that I wish I had when I first began. If you are waiting for the perfect time to start freelancing, know that there will never be a perfect time to start. No, wait, actually I was wrong. There is a perfect time to start, and that perfect time is today. Today is the best possible time you could begin this. Tomorrow is good, but today's better. Next week is fine, but today is best. According to a study by Upwork, freelancing is poised to become the majority of the US workforce by 2027, aka get in now and you'll be a seasoned freelancer with years of experience by the time 2027 rolls around. And if you're watching this in 2027, you're in the majority, hopefully. Number 2, if you are too overwhelmed to start, stop looking at the whole staircase and just focus on the first step. One of my favorite quotes by Martin Luther King Jr. You don't need to know the whole picture and every single detail within it. You don't need 40 clients to start. You don't need to focus on making 6 figures. You don't need to be an absolute expert and know the answer to every question under the magnificent sun before you start. Just focus on that first step, on your first dollar, on landing that first client, one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself by making everything huge. For me, my first client paid me $10, and that was my first step. That was all I focused on, and it was enough to keep me going. So find that first step and tell us what it is, because I want to know. I'm nosy. And the rest, I promise you will figure out as you go along. So just take that first step in faith. If you keep saying, I will begin once I have insert blank here, stop. Stop creating more fake hurdles for yourself. I had no website as a freelancer. I had no perfectly aesthetic and strategic Instagram feed as a freelancer. I didn't have my niche figured out. I didn't know who my ideal client was. I didn't have a logo. I didn't have a business name. I didn't have a 20-page business plan. You do not need those things to begin. Your brain is creating these fake hurdles to protect you from getting out there and trying, but it's doing you such a disservice. Number 4, for my fellow perfectionists out there, hello, my people. I need you guys to accept that it will not be perfect when you begin. If you wait for it to be perfect, you will wait 400 million trillion years. I waited such a long time to start because things weren't perfect. That is very, very silly. Do not make this mistake. This is another way our brain is trying to protect us from trying and potentially failing. It's giving us this unrealistic benchmark of perfect to attain so that we don't ever put ourselves out there. Do not focus on perfect inaction, focus on imperfect action. So instead, treat this all like an experiment. You are just testing things out. Who knows how it'll go? You're just trying. You're just playing. You're not committing. Like, do I like offering the service? Do I like working with that client? You are not taking a big leap. You're not committing. You're just throwing wet spaghetti at the wall. This leads me to the next thing. If you want to make your first $1,000, you need to focus on tasks that move the metaphorical needle, aka you need to focus on doing the right things. And I learned this lesson the hard way. If you imagine the really important tasks you need to do in this circle, things like pitching and networking and reaching out to people and offering beta services and applying to jobs, for a long time, I spent all my time doing the things around the important tasks. I was strolling, skipping, dancing all around these key tasks, the tasks that actually make a difference. Such a waste of time, because chances are you are busy too, so you need to spend that time wisely. That means, again, do not spend 10 hours designing a logo and curating the perfect personal brand. Do not do 20 hours of research on what the best possible niche is. Do not spend 15 hours making a plan for how you are going to start freelancing. Those are not good uses of your time. If your goal is to land your first client and make your first $1,000, tasks that move the needle are getting out there, talking to people, reaching out to your network, making a portfolio, cold pitching, applying to jobs, signing up for freelancing platforms and sending out proposals, doing trial projects, running beta services, aka get going and do not linger and backtrack and spend all your time thinking and planning to start that you never actually do start. Here's another tip that I don't hear often for beginner freelancers, and that is to stop fixating on niching or being overly strategic when you're just starting. So yes, niching is very strategic and useful, but not when you're just starting and have no clue about what you want to offer, who you want to offer it to, and what up from down is as a freelancer. And I am so glad I didn't niche in the beginning. It gave me a chance to try out everything and then critically assess what makes sense in terms of profitability, what makes sense based on my own interests, what makes sense based on what clients are saying. So leave yourself open to experimentation in the beginning. Do not close any doors. Open as many doors as you possibly can and say yes to everything. Of course, the battery is running out now. Love that for me. Thanks so much. You're so cooperative. And especially in the beginning stages of freelancing, you need to be aware that you are a risky hire for a client. You are a beginner with maybe no proof, no work experience, remote work experience, no testimonials or referrals. So it's very important that you reduce the risk for them to hire you. You can do this with lots of different things. You can do this by being cheaper. That's why I started at $10 an hour, because I wanted to reduce the risk for the client to try me out. Get proof, gather those testimonials, take screenshots of compliments, get feedback from clients for one-time projects, anything to show potential clients, hey, here's some proof that I am a normal human who will do a good job and won't burn down your business by accident. You can also build a portfolio on your own time for fake projects or fake clients to show off as, hey, I know what I'm doing. You can also do free samples, right? Make a free sample for a client you really want to land. This is a great strategy when done well. You can also do one-time projects. Instead of proposing huge ongoing monthly retainers or 5K packages to potential clients, offer instead to do a small one-time project. That makes it easier for the client to say yes and give you a go. So something I did as a freelance digital business manager was I would offer to create a project plan for their upcoming launch. I wouldn't offer to be their manager ongoingly or manage the launch or anything. I would just make the project plan as a one-time thing. And from there, they could decide if they wanted to work together. And many times that gets your foot in the door enough to extend into future work. You can also do an internship or a trial period. I have done internships and trial periods. I think they're useful if there's something in it for you in terms of experience, client connections, future opportunities as well. So just tread lightly, tread carefully with those, but definitely a great way to get your foot in the door with the right type of client. When I first began freelancing, I had no cash flow to invest in my business or myself, so I invested with time, and I can only recommend this to you. Be a sponge. Absorb absolutely everything, every ounce of knowledge, experience, teachings you can get from anyone who will give it to you, and any resources you can get your little typing hands on via Google. You are your biggest asset. Take a shot every time I say that in one of my videos. And you need to build yourself into the ultimate freelancing champion. You scale your business by scaling yourself. And I know you've probably heard this a million times, but I swear most people still do not do this and wonder why they are not competitive in the market. And by the way, investing in yourself, in your skill set, that is super empowering and a huge sense of security because nobody can ever take that away from you. I have invested so much time into myself over the past 6 years, and now I feel comfortable handling all aspects of running my digital business, and I now even coach in other people's masterminds using that expertise as well. So be a sponge, invest in yourself. If you don't have money to invest in yourself, invest with time. Do not quit too early. In the beginning, it is a numbers game. I promise it is a lot harder to start the engine than it is to keep the engine running. Persist through this phase. It took me weeks and 20 proposals to land my first client. Then it took me even more time and another 20 proposals to land my next client. That's normal. So please persist, keep going. What is on the other end, I promise, is so worthwhile. You just need to get out there and do not stop until you land that first client. And the most important thing through all of this is you need to be asking for feedback every step of the way. You need to get feedback as to why you are not advancing so you can tweak and optimize. You need data. So get feedback from family and friends on the assets you're sending, your fellow freelancing friends or colleagues, the companies or entrepreneurs that you are applying to if they have the time and capacity to do so. You can also pay an expert to look over your assets to ensure you're sending out the right things. That's a great investment because if you're sending out hundreds of these assets, whether that's a resume or a portfolio, you want to make sure there isn't anything you're missing that's costing you the job. If you don't know what you're doing wrong, you won't be able to improve. And I know asking for feedback is nerve-wracking, but I mean, what's worse? Not knowing what you're doing wrong and not hearing back from everyone, or knowing what you are doing wrong, fixing that so you start hearing back from people, right? This one's better, promise. Okay, so yes, you should ideally over-deliver every stage of freelancing, even if it's just over-delivering by a little bit, but you need to be extra over-delivering, especially in the baby chick stage, because these first few clients who are giving you a shot, they could become your biggest super fans. They could become your biggest people who refer you. They are the glowing testimonials you need for the remainder of your freelance career. The testimonials I got from some of my earliest clients are testimonials that I still use today, so go above and beyond. Deliver more, deliver better, deliver faster than what's promised. Over-delivering and positively surprising clients builds your reputation and such a high level of trust, and you cannot buy that with any amount of money. So do not skimp out on your first few clients. Really, really try your best to roll out the red carpet for them. All right, next up. If you want to know my biggest lessons learned going from 1K to 5K a month as a freelancer, here they are. Here they are. This is the next part of the series, so it only makes sense to keep watching. Yep, go on. Give that a little tap. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!